All right, man, so we back. This is part two of how this nonprofit company named Eggleston lied on my name, threw dirt on my name, all this other stuff. If you haven't seen part one, go back and check on it. Again, this is a company that was involved in sex trafficking me for the majority of my life. And we're showing the proof of it. Now, as y'all know, I'm going through a list of the jobs that I've did for them over my brief time that I spent there. And we're going to pick up where we left off. So after I got done with doing all that work, they have houses. Like I explained to y'all, they have houses where they house people with disabilities. The same people that work at their places, they also house. This is what I told them. It was kind of like slavery because they pay those people so little bit of money. And that was just my personal opinion that I was telling somebody, but they took that to like the top people. And this is one of the reasons why they escalated and actually tried to kill me. Not No joke, like real talk. And if you haven't seen all my other videos, if you haven't gotten my book, the book is in the description. If you haven't looked at the YouTube is in the description. This is actual facts. There's no made up information here. I don't have to make up anything. It's not my character. I'm not here to lie or anything. I'm just telling my story the exact way it went. So this is a house right here that needed to be painted. The whole house needed to be painted. It was about 6 bedrooms, a living room, kitchen, laundry room, and then it needed flooring in it too. Now, when we got down to do the flooring, I told them that they needed tongue and groove flooring. Okay, this is what was in part one of the video that you saw me installing. It's very quick to go down if you know what you're doing. So I told them to get that type because they wanted it done in a certain amount of time. So I told them to get that type instead of glue down flooring. I sent the examples to my supervisor what he needed to get. I sent him the exact link of what he needed to get. Okay. So I started with painting. Here's a couple videos and stuff of me painting, a couple before and afters and stuff like that. I painted this by myself. Okay, that was supposed to be her brother there helping me, but when he did come over, he just sat in the living room on his computer the whole time, wasn't helping me at all. I did all of this work that you're gonna see completely by myself. Every piece of flooring was put in by me. Every room that was painted by me. Okay, I did this entire job by myself. Now, when it came down to the time to get uh, the flooring was delivered to the house. I got to the house and it was all the wrong flooring. Okay, it was all glue down. It was like 30 something boxes of glue down. Okay, the exact opposite of what I told the supervisor to get. Now, I called him and told him they needed to come back and pick this up and he needed to switch it out because it would take literally triple the time to do. He told me there was nothing that they could do because they already delivered it, which I don't think that was true. And I'm going to explain to you why. I told him that he needed to figure out a way to have them come back and pick it up. But again, he told me that they couldn't do it. So here I am with 30 boxes of the wrong type of flooring, 30 plus boxes of the wrong type of flooring. I don't have no glue to begin the work, none of that. So now I got to go pick up the glue to do the work, which is going to take the price up of everything. None of it made sense. Now, when I told my supervisor, I was like, you got the wrong flooring. He looked at me, he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but don't tell nobody else that. This is what made me believe that he got the wrong flooring intentionally. Again, they was literally trying to destroy my name and my character and my work ethic. And this didn't just happen here. When I left this company, they got involved with the other company that I went to after that. They also was part of the reason why my business was attacked, all that type of stuff. And you're gonna see when I talk about the next company in the videos to come. And I'm gonna just throw this in there. When I went to leave that company, which again they said they fired me and they didn't, and I'm going to show you in this video. I went to another company that was excited to see me for an interview. I was in that interviewing with the lady and another guy. She was so excited. She got up and hugged me and everything. She was like, "I'm very excited to have you on board." Then she asked me what company I was leaving. I told her it was Eggleston. She asked me why. I said I didn't appreciate their integrity. I didn't like the leadership over there, all this type of stuff. She said, well, I got some connections over there, right? She got up, made a phone call, came back in, told me, Isaac, it was nice to meet you, walked out, didn't get the job. Now, they was excited for me to come on board 1 minute. She goes out, make a phone call to one of the connections she got there at Eggleston, and now suddenly I don't get the job. When I came back to work the next day, one of the guys there named Marco, which was on the maintenance team, which also was involved, he asked me, "How did your job interview go?" I was like, "Well, they didn't give it to me." He was like, "Oh," and he started laughing like he knew something I didn't know. Diabolical behavior. Okay. Anyway, so I continue and I start putting in the flooring. Okay. Here's some videos and pictures of the flooring. Right. Me putting it in. Now you see I got tape all over the floor because that's the type of stuff you got to do with glue down. You have to tape it to make sure it doesn't slide on you after you install it and all that type of stuff. This is like I did the whole house. Okay, the entire house. You know what I'm saying? All these are pictures and stuff of me doing that work. Okay. Here's a picture of the hallway and how that looked when I was done. Okay, I didn't get any complaints from anybody about any of this work that I was doing at the time. None. Okay. This is a picture of the kitchen. Now I went and got this flooring because it's the right type of flooring that needed to get, and I didn't trust them to order any flooring no more. So this is the kitchen before it was done, and this is the kitchen after I finished doing it. Okay. So I didn't get any complaints on that. I did the entire job by myself, like I said. I got a lot more pictures and videos of it, but I don't want to make this video super long. I'm just trying to give y'all the gist of how they threw dirt on my name when I was doing all the work correctly. After that, I moved to the laundry department, which is in the city of Norfolk, right? They wanted the whole laundry department painted, all right? Now they only wanted me to do the walls of the laundry. I did a few other things for them, like I changed out their little. They use these carts in there, so I put up some things on the wall to prevent them from bumping the wall. A couple of the entrances, stuff like that. I did a lot of work in the laundry department. All right. I was painting the walls and stuff. They told me not to touch the ceiling. They said they was gonna have a contractor come in to do the ceiling. Okay. Uh, I even did some repairs in there. Okay, this is one repair I did at the entrance of it. Okay. Um, this is a wall that I did in there that I found was extremely damaged. The whole wall was moving. Okay, this is like a 16, 20-foot wall that when you pushed on it just slightly, the whole wall moved. Okay, so I cut the whole bottom of the wall out. You know, I braced the wall up the appropriate way. Okay, I redid the drywall on it, fixed it up. It looked real nice, and then I threw paint on it after I was done. Okay. Now, by this time, I'm still getting a lot of compliments. Everybody's seeing me work hard, so the staff is coming in like, "Man, you rolling in here. You doing a good job." This is what the people are saying to me. Okay. Now I look up at the ceiling after the guy that comes in and paints the ceiling comes in, and the ceiling is peeling almost like a week or two after the guy does the job on it. So I tell my supervisor, and he tells Tasha, which Tasha was the vice president. I pull her back there and show her, like, I don't know if he used the wrong type of paint or something, but the ceiling is peeling. Now they came back in, looked at the ceiling, saw that the ceiling was peeling, and I believe that they explained to other people that I was the one that painted the ceiling and I did it incorrectly, which is not true. I didn't touch the ceiling with any paint whatsoever. Now I told y'all at the time, the supervisor of the laundry department wanted me to come in as chief engineer. Okay, I was looking into taking on the role. This is after they told me I was going to school. I signed the contract to stay there for a couple of years. After they sent me to school, they never sent me to school. I told you I showed up to the school, and the school told me they didn't even know who I was. This was after all that type of stuff. Okay, so I was going to take the chief engineer position, but then once Tasha knew I was applying for it, she took the chief title off and made it just engineer, and then she dropped the title. I mean, dropped the pay by 20 grand. They kept telling me stuff like you can only make a certain amount of money with no degrees, this, that, and the third. And I was explaining to them that I I am not in the corporate field. You know, I do. I'm in the blue collar field. Blue collar goes off your skill, what you know how to do. That's where your money come in at. So he was like, the supervisor of the laundry department was like, "Well, do you have any certifications?" I was like, "I got a welding certification." Like, I got all my welding certifications, but what does that have to do with this job? He was like, bring in your certification anyway. So I sent it to him. He found my certification still. They didn't change. They didn't go back to the original price that the engineer position was supposed to be. So this is the time where I started looking for another job. Okay. Now, this is a picture before I started looking for a job. This is a picture of or a video of the boiler machine that they had in the laundry department. Now, this I was told by the maintenance team there that have been there for 15 years that this has been leaking for 10 years. You know, no one has ever fixed it. So I took it upon myself because at the time I was going for the engineer job anyway to fix it. So this is the work that I did to it. This is me cutting it out. I cut all the parts out and stuff. This is me replacing it. I replaced it and it ran perfectly well. No issues, no leaks, no nothing. The rest of the time I was there, it never had any issues. Now, I don't know if they caused it to have issues after I left and then blamed me for it, like they was trying to do with everything else. But as you can see, it looked very well. I got compliments on it, just like I always do with everything. So then, after this, right before I go to quit, right, Tasha holds a maintenance meeting, okay? It's just the maintenance guy that's there. My supervisor doesn't even show up, okay? He was leaving the company at this time, right? So we go to the meeting, and Tasha's looking at me the whole time. She was like, is there anything you want to say? I know you got some stuff on your mind. She only said that to me because her brother was telling her information I was saying during the maintenance meetings. Then she asked me a question that stuck with me. She was like, do you take pictures of all your work? And I was like, I take pictures of everything. And the look she gave me was almost like slightly disappointed because I knew right then that she was upset that I took pictures because it would be, if I ever came out about the work and stuff, she wouldn't be able to say that I did stuff incorrectly. This is why they tried to take me out and stuff before I can come back and tell everybody what they were doing. So the meeting was very weird. She even complimented me a couple times. She was like, you're such a great help. And then I told you I was supposed to go to school to get my AC certifications for them because they had a guy there that was like 80, right? And he was thinking about retiring. He kept telling me that he was going to retire the whole time before that and that I was going to take on his role. At this meeting, Natasha looked at him. She was like, hey, so do you think you can stick around for another 5 years? That's what she told the dude. And I knew that was her saying they wasn't going to send me to school. They was going to get this guy to stay there for another 5 years, as old as he was. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. By this time, I had made up my mind I was going to quit, okay? So this is what I sent to the group chat, okay? I put my 2 weeks in. Let everybody know in the group chat that I put my 2 weeks in, okay? Now, this is what Paul was the supervisor of my supervisor, right? He was over our department and a couple other departments, okay? He was also the son of the previous CEO that I told y'all was in my orientation that left, that was talking like he knew me. He was his son, okay? Now, this is what Paul sent me, okay? He was telling me to talk to the new supervisor that was coming in to replace my old supervisor. He wanted me to talk with him before I quit. You can see in this text message, I told him I already talked to Tasha about them giving me the proper money. Remember, they hired me lower than what we agreed to during my interview. And they wasn't giving me a raise. They saw how much work I was doing. They was acting like I wasn't doing it. I did, you know what I'm saying? So I was just over it by this point. You can see that I didn't reply to him after he told me that he wanted me to sit down and talk with them before I quit because he did not want me to quit. I had even changed out, they had like 80 lights that needed to be changed in the laundry department. I changed all of those lights in like 2 days. Okay, no issues. Once again, her brother was supposed to be helping me. Her brother changed maybe 5 or 6 in the out of those 2 days. I changed all the remaining ones. Okay, just flying through them. You know what I'm saying? So they knew what I brought to the team, but they wanted to control me. They wanted me to be a slave because, like I said, they had trafficked me years before. My mother worked there. I told y'all they abused my mom the same way while my mom was raising 7 kids on her own. So after this, I told y'all I went to that interview and they were going to hire me, but after they called Emerson, they didn't hire me. So then I go to another view, job interview with a company named Arcadia. I had an interview with Arcadia. They was very excited to see me when I walked in the door. They told me I would make a great fit. They brought me on at the price that Everton was supposed to pay me, okay? And then shortly after me being at Arcadia, I realized that Arcadia had got infiltrated by Everton and by these people that have been following me my entire life, literally trying to destroy my character, okay? Make lies on me about how I work. They would Arcadia start giving me the wrong material and sending me to do jobs anyway, but telling me it will be okay. And then they would lie to people and tell them that I got the wrong material. As y'all know, I come with proof and I come with facts, so ain't none of this a lie. That's going to be my next video, so make sure y'all stick around and go check that out. I appreciate y'all rocking with me and exposing the truth. Share this video. Like I said, this type of stuff doesn't just happen to me. There are women that are involved with this as I speak. There are children that are being trafficked as we speak. If somebody don't stand up to these organizations, it could be you. You just never know. If you haven't read my book, it's in the description below. It gives vivid details of my life. And maybe you can put some pieces together of things that happen to you that you can see that happen to me that will help you correlate that you may have been through what I have gone through, and you might be being trafficked right now. You might not even know it. Christ is king, man. We ain't scared of no demons.